We need to get some better music.
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin.
And Red.
And Red's on today. I'm the one and only Big Spoon.
Puddin. And then
Red.
This is episode 5.
Yeah.
Get
So
my,
what the hell are you trying to fix?
I'm all discombobulated today.
I think you muted us all.
Who?
No, I don't see the mutes.
No, we're good.
Oh.
I'm all discombobulated today.
Uh-oh. Yeah. There's the delay.
Had to turn that sound off.
Hey, you ain't even been drinking yet.
I'm drinking some water and some sweet tea. Yeah, this is Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin, episode 5, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Oh, you went to YouTube? Darn.
Yeah.
I was hoping you was going to leave them alone.
They took the other one down, so we'll keep putting it up there until they take them all down, then we'll say the hell with them.
Yeah, we need to just start putting them up on the Rumble. Try to work on that tonight or this week.
What's going on? What's going on tonight, Red? You know, we were supposed to do that this morning, but we had technical difficulties.
Everyone was sleeping.
And I was awake, and I had gotten up. I'd already fixed my coffee. I'd made my coffee and everything. And I text Puddin right there, and I didn't get it. I hear back, and I knew I had to work this morning, but I was gonna try to squeeze it in from 7 to 8:30, and then go to work after that. But yeah.
I called him this morning. I woke up a little late too, but I called him and he's like, "Oh, I'm tired. My sleep cycle messed up." I said, "All right, I'll call you back in about an hour." So I waited about almost 2 hours. Called him, texted, nothing. Like 4 or 5 hours later, he texts and calls. "I'm up now."
Well, back when we lived in Jacksonville, he would say, "Yeah, I want to go to that gun show this weekend," and then the weekend would come around and he'd be in town, and I just got to the point where I would leave without him and just wait for him to call when it'd be like, "Yeah, I'm at the gun show, buddy. I'm already here. Meet you down here." or he'd be like, "If you're already there, is there anything good there?"
Figure out if I want to go or not.
Yeah.
Well, we might well dive right in. What do you want to go with first?
What do you want to go with?
Yeah.
The death of the dollar.
Death of the dollar?
Yeah.
The slow draining, miscombobulated death of the American dollar.
Well, it's heading that way, ain't it?
It's been heading that way for years.
Well,
it just took a drastic turn, you think, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's secret deals going on all over the other side of the globe. Russia's dealing with India. We don't know what China hasn't made anything public yet. They said they pegged the ruble to gold Friday afternoon. So I was like, whoa. That's kind of going to make a gold standard, isn't it? We don't have a gold standard here, do we?
No.
That kind of keeps things, pretty much situated where it can't go inflate, right?
American hat, American flag cup.
That's a Punisher. Oh. Yeah, it was Christmas present or birthday present, something like that. I don't know. I don't really care. We'll just talk about whatever. What do you want to talk
about? Let me ask you this question. I mean, how is Russia going to survive that also? I mean, I guess there would have to be countries that want to deal in the ruble. As far as that, I mean, I understand. I mean, we are American centric as far as that goes because that's where we're from. But
what I'm saying is, when they do this with their ruble, you got to buy gold, or you got to use either gold or their ruble to buy their gas and oil. And
right,
they're also pegging their rubles, so it seems like they're going to stop their printing presses and just basically say, well, if we get more gold, we'll print more money but keep it somewhat balanced or fair, which makes the ruble look stronger. That was what made the U.S. dollar so great and desired back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It was pegged to gold. So the thing is, all banks they end up cheating. They say they've got more gold than they got, and then they just keep printing out dollars, and that starts the inflation.
What? I don't know. Maybe went out.
Right. But I mean, isn't the ruble though? Technically, it's a weaker currency.
It's weaker,
as far as I knew.
Hello, Jay.
Well, they use,
and I am no expert, so I don't.
Oh no, it's definitely weaker, but that's not the point. The point is they've set a baseline where it isn't going to go any weaker than X. And basically, what they're saying is never will this go below X. So from now it can only go up as the price of gold goes up.
Well, I know you like dealing with stocks and commodities and stuff like that on whichever app that was that you might or might not want to pimp.
Weeble,
but who?
Weeble.
Do they deal in currency at all?
Where did he go?
Yeah, he's probably whipping his children. Do they deal in currency at all?
Oh, he looks like he left. No, they don't really deal in currency. No, they. Oh, there he is. Oh, now he's in the middle. Oh, he wanted to be in the middle.
Ah, he wanted to be the dick in the middle.
I want to be skiing.
I bet she doesn't understand. Why don't you explain that reference to her?
No. My 6-year-old will learn that soon enough. I don't have to explain it to her now.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. Preserve that innocence as long as possible. It'll be kind of hard with older children in the house, though.
Luckily, the older ones stay gone most of the time.
So, with that in mind, I mean, there should be some movement with the Russian ruble as far as investment. I mean, you would think that if that was the case, people would want to be buying, if you will, rubles.
There was a big movement in the post market in that Hoycroft mine stock I got. It shot up like, oh God, what was it?
Hello,
shot up
Susan.
Almost 30 cents, like right there at the end.
Based on the Russians going to a gold standard?
I don't know. I seen the videos coming out Friday afternoon, and then I had stopped watching it stock because I'd made it home. Or we were at Tractor Supply getting some more plants. I've got a lot of plants to plant. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go hit big on these berries and apple trees and stuff. But no, I wasn't looking at the stock, and all of a sudden it just went straight up, and I was like, oh my God. Good thing I have a couple hundred shares of it.
Well,
right. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Spoon.
I was going to say, even with them wanting to do all that, I think Russia has bit off a little bit more than they could chew with this Ukraine deal, because they are losing battles left and right. They're getting bogged down. They're having to spend more time and money and resources than they ever. I know for a fact Putin ever desired to use. Hello, Ryan. I think his ego was thinking this would be a couple week thing and it'd be done and over with. And here we are, a month in, and I don't think he's even taken one major city yet. I mean, he's been working on Kyiv for 3 weeks. He hadn't even got control of it yet.
Well, maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's about, something bigger. I mean, they've been setting this up for months. They've been buying all the gold they can get their hands on for months, stacking gold. And there's a changing world order coming. Everybody, if you haven't paid attention to economics videos, it's coming. There's a whole bunch of countries that don't want to fall under the current, leaders. They don't want to listen to them anymore.
Well, we talk about this on a daily basis about the different countries, whether it's Russia or China or Germany or India or the United States, about the different currencies and the new world order. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Laz.
Well, I shown Eric that, the Foskis or whatever. We had a talk about that. Was it Thursday, I think? And it was
You got to turn it
pretty
down.
interesting. I mean, I never, and it got by me for my whole life. I didn't even realize that there's a symbol, a fascist symbol, sitting behind the House of Representatives. Two of them. I was like, oh my, look at that. It's right there in your face. But as soon
Fascist
as you say
America.
fascist, everybody, yeah. Well, as soon as you say fascist, everybody thinks you're a Nazi. That's not true. They're two different things. Were they under each other? Sure. But fascism doesn't have anything to do with race. It has to do with government.
You got it?
With a type of government. Government.
Well, it's your ists and your isms and everybody, but nobody wants to do their research.
I think it's a philosophy of government.
Yeah.
Maybe might be a better way to say it.
Well, there's a couple different philosophies. I mean, we've got the classics, republic, democracy, and then you've got the more modern ones, which is communism, capitalism, fascism, socialism. There's all these isms and ists and all this. I mean, you've got your dictators and all these. Those are classic. The more modern ones came from Marx. But like I said, I was blown away when I seen that though. On that, it's like, oh my goodness, how long have them been there? I had to go do the research, and they remodeled the House of Representatives in 1950. That was just 5 short years after Germany got
defeated.
Yeah. Germany got control, and 5 short years later, they put up 2 big old golden symbols on the back sides of the president during the State of the Union, saying, "Hey, we're fascists now."
Well, the same people over here, especially, or probably even in the world, that would say that fascism and Nazis are the same. It's the same ones over here that say that we're a democratic nation when our founding fathers set us up to be a republic.
Yeah. Well,
they don't know the left from the right.
Well, left and right is still the same bird.
But, of course.
You got people that look at the Confederates and they think, "Oh, you're a racist because you got." No, that wasn't what that was about. It was about states' rights. The South didn't want to be controlled by the North. And then what did Lincoln do? He ran around and he arrested all the Southern sympathizing press people up north, and he rounded up all the the state council who wanted to vote for Maryland to secede.
Well, he sent the Army of the Potomac to block the government building so that they could not go in and vote on it, which basically would have surrounded D.C.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in agreement that we felt like Lincoln, in our opinion, was a tyrant. A lot of people want to hang their hat on he freed the slaves, but they've never read the Emancipation Proclamation and know exactly what was in there.
No, it was freeing the slaves in the rebelling states, is what it says. It's right there in your Constitution or whatever. Go read it. Doesn't say anything about the states that aren't in rebellion, but that's neither here nor there, is it?
No.
But still, you've got Trudeau acting like that up there with the freedom thing. Stop hawking! Oh my goodness, And then now you've got Zelensky over there trying to corral all his media, stop people from dissenting media in Ukraine about the war, stopping people from leaving. Oh, you're a man and you can fight. Here's your gun.
Well,
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree.
18 to 60 will not let them depart.
18 to 60?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily disagree with him. But I mean, you can't really force anybody. But if you're 18 or 19 or 20 to, whatever, 50 and you're healthy, why wouldn't you want to stay and fight?
Well, look at the snowflakes in this country. I think Canada's borders would be overrun.
Well, we're older fellers here, so if they ever come to the point to where somebody's going to invade us and that happens, everybody under the age of 30 is probably going to be hitting the border, so we're going to be the ones fighting. Us and older people than us. Hello, Kimberly.
But first, you got to get your tools out. Red can finally fire those guns in anger.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the whole Ukrainian Foreign Legion is I could bring I could bring my armor and I could bring my helmet and stuff like that, but I'm not actually allowed to bring the weapons that I have already trained with. I'd have to use their weapons.
That's kind of ridiculous because they're not guaranteeing anybody any weapons.
They weren't. I thought
there have been pictures coming out lately where somebody was wearing strapped with a moose and nagant, and we know what that is.
Right.
So basically, it's an old bolt action from the 1890s, and they're fielding it, and it's like, well, that could be the gun you were given.
So that might be that guy's grandfather's family weapon, and he's like,
He was a Ukrainian soldier that was pictured, and the guy mistakenly thought he was a Russian soldier. But he had a nagant strapped over his shoulder. And I was like, whoa.
So you're telling me if we show up in my army tank or my military tank, and both of y'all are on top with your weapon of choice, they won't let us fight?
No.
Well, I think it'd have to be we'd have to be flown over and dropped out of a B-52 or something. We could parachute our tank down. Then
wait a minute. How far away is Afghanistan? We might be able to go there and borrow some of the equipment we left behind. Maybe we could drive there. You reckon they'll let us drive through Russia?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Turkey will let us pass through or something. I
don't know. Maybe we still have to cross it. We still have to cross the Red Sea.
Maybe if I rub my hairy nipples
Black Sea,
the whole way through, they'll let us through.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could swing by the White House and pick up some keys to the tank or something we left. Maybe an Apache that got left behind. What's the code of that Apache? Boy, all that.
Anybody look at Ahmed, the dead terrorist from Jeff Dunham?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's having a press conference, and he's inside one of the tanks we left behind, and he keeps asking the president how do you start it?
I didn't know there was a new one out.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't leave any materials behind for how to operate it.
I took the manual.
Apparently so.
Poor Hawk, man.
Yeah. Well, the Taliban might have been burning it in their effort to burn all the Western materials that they could find, except for those of the war. So.
No. So what was your topics, Mr. Spoon?
I thought we was going to talk on the Social Security reform.
Or there's something like that?
No, it's something we were going to come up with.
Sorry, I didn't actually listen to last week's show. So did you all not get into payroll tax reform?
We got into the payroll tax reform. We didn't go to Social Security.
Oh, okay.
No, we got into maybe it should just be a sales tax at the register, and then no refunds. Whatever you pay, you pay. But you, as an individual, get to choose your tax rate because you decide, do you want to buy the highfalutin stuff or the budget stuff?
Well, right. I mean, if you're buying $100,000 Mercedes or if you're buying a $10,000 Chevrolet and you're paying, let's just say, a 10% sales tax, federal sales tax, it's one is $1,000 and the other is $10,000. So, I mean, it's still equal. It still equally comes out to, you, I, the rich guy, the poor guy, we're all still paying the same amount via percentage. But the rich guy would still end up paying more because, he dropped the same price of your vehicle just in sales tax alone.
Yeah, like the insulting Colbert quote about driving a Tesla. Well, you've got the money to buy a Tesla, then pay the tax. What's that reverb?
Yeah, getting some feedback or something. But
Spoon got the volume up again.
Is that better? Is that better now?
What?
the volume.
I can't tell.
I'd forgot to log into Twitch, so I had to go log into it. And when I did, and it brought it up, I had to go mute it.
So, you watch it,
but it's I still, the argument that somebody is not paying or they. I think some folks want to argue that, well, they should still pay more. And the reality of it is not the equality of the situation. If it's an equal situation, then you just pay one set amount. Yeah, I mean, if the poor guy wants to go and purchase a Mercedes and drop his $10,000 on it, hey.
Well, in the sense, if you went to what we were talking about, the rich are going to pay more because they spend more, they buy bigger products, so they're going to be paying in more.
Mm-hmm.
When they go buy their Mercedes or their Lamborghini or whatever they choose, they're paying their 10%. And we go buy our Chevy or our Nissan or whatever, we're paying our 10%.
Yeah. Even whether they're buying a pair, and I have no idea what the most popular jeans are at the moment. I don't know. Let's just say Ariats or Wranglers or Cinch, something like that. Oh, no. And I can only think of the stuff that's out here, not what's might actually be in a department store somewhere. But
Tommy Hilfiger.
If you're paying $100 for a pair of jeans and Trey's over at the Walmart buying a $7.88 pair of Rustlers, that he's going to pay his 79 cents in tax, and the other guy is going to pay his $10 in tax. Just that easy. If Trey wants to go and buy, and I can't think of what brand Walmart has, so I'll use an old reference. If he wants to buy the Kmart brand Trax shoes for $10, he wants a pair of tennis shoes for $10. And somebody wants to go out and buy a pair of Air Jordans, and I don't even know how much they cost. I just know they're insane.
125, 150 bucks, something like that.
Yeah. Was she naked?
No. She was. She was holding a pizza box over her face.
She'd get more viewership that way. But if you want to pay $200 for a pair of Jordans or LeBron's shoe, you're right. Exactly. I mean, if you're a middle income family or a lower income family and you actually want to purchase that, hey, thank you in the end, because you're stepping out of the realm of what you typically would be able to afford. Hey, you just contributed more to the system. If the rich guy wants to go out and buy the $10 pair of Kmart Trax tennis shoes, and only pay 79 cents in sales tax, that's his prerogative too, as far as that goes. I mean, if he prefer to drive his Mercedes with a pair of Bobo brand tennis shoes, then good for him. So I just
figure out what Spoon's talking about though, about Social Security reform.
I was talking about. I think it might be something that we discussed. I'm assuming, Spoon. Yeah. Like the individual retirement account. My belief is that it should still be payroll deducted, but that you have the control over it. You have the control in the investment that you want to make, whether it's a conservative investment, whether it's an aggressive investment, and also
whether you want to blow it all in the stock market. It should be your prerogative. No.
Well, it'll be an individual.
That's an option if you want to take the high risk and put all your money in stocks and it bottoms out. That's on you. But what the discussion me and Eric was talking about is the government shouldn't control our retirement.
No, they use it like a credit card.
Well, yeah, Hey, Angelina, they've got their hands in it, spending on God knows what, but. Discussion me and Red had was, if I wanted to put mine in IRA and he wanted to put his in, some kind of stock or whatever, that was our choice.
No, if I wanted to take mine and put it on 47 Black, that should be my choice too. Let the roulette wheel spin.
I suppose, but in the end, you want to be able to, it is taking the great socialist idea of having something when you do get old.
But it's the great socialist idea that keeps extracting, money that we all earn because they know how to take care of us better than we know how to take care of ourselves.
Well, the discussion Red and I had was, I know you don't want them taking that money out of your check, and I understand that, but the reform we had, it was still forcing people to be responsible. That way, when they got to retirement age and they blew all their money, they still had something to fall back on and live, and we, the people, didn't have to pay for their retirement.
If a 68-year-old Cuban makes it to Miami, does he have an account that's all of a sudden fully funded? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's a refugee.
I'm just saying under our aspects of reform. If you're talking about current Social Security,
current Social Security is what I'm talking about. Yes,
yeah. That's what we're trying to get away from.
Again, no. What I'm saying is again, as long as the system's set the way it is, if a 68-year-old Cuban lands on the shores and is given refugee status and has a fully funded account that he never put a dollar into, well, those are our dollars, not his. And he's all of a sudden allowed to start drawing a check immediately. No, that system needs to be thrown away.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying right now, if I decide that, why shouldn't they just give me a certain number of stocks and let me just pick them? And I'm sure by now, how much money do you think we put in? It's a lot. It's a big number. But that's what I'm saying. That refugee's account is fully funded based on what we've paid in. And again, your daughter's not supposed to pay that, is she? And that's what's going to happen.
Right. Well, what we're talking about is how we could is the aspect of reforming it. Taking it to a different idea. Not what we currently have, because we know what we currently have is broken. We already know that.
Hello, Brenda.
No, you're given a number, and you're given hey, here's a number with your account, but you're not allowed to touch that money, and you have no control over where it's invested and who it's handed out to or dished out to. And then they just say, "Oh, don't worry, you'll have kids of your own that can pay in for it." No, that's not right.
Yeah, but that's what me and him's talking about. I think me and him's come up with a pretty good. I feel like it's a pretty good plan on the Social Security reform. That way, the government has little to do with the only thing they're going to have to do with is it still coming out of your check, and you're still going to have to set parameters and guidelines to go by. At what age you can start drawing, what, and how much, and but that money, like, say I want to put 10% of my income in an IRA in my Social Security account.
Would you do better putting it in an IRA that's backed by gold? Just for you. There's no risk there. The only risk is if gold goes to zero, and we already know that's the elite's currency. Gold will never go to zero. They don't mind letting it suppress, but they own most of it. So what do they care? Yeah,
but with our option, you can pick and choose what you put it in, what IRA you put it in, what stock you put it in, or if you just want to go with
I'm for that.
One of these 401k companies and let them fiddle with your money if that's your choice. As long as
a mutual fund.
As long as you have your money put in something, that way you have something to fall back on. And when you get 65 or 60 or whatever the age is going to be, the taxpayers don't have to fund your way. But here's the thing is, we all know my son's about to turn 19. If they sent him a letter or whatever and had said, you got 60 days, 90 days to inform us of where you want your percentage of Social Security, whatever, because right now I think we figured out it was like 5% of our pay.
Yeah.
So say he wanted to do more than 5 or say 10. He's got that long to figure out where he's going to send it, and you can change it anytime you want to, as long as it's going and being put back, and what interest whichever account you want. But if he doesn't respond, guess what? He gets put in the old system. You got to keep paying your normal Social Security.
I wish they just cut me a check.
Hello, Michael. Hello, Mike.
Let me invest it.
Video.
Well, you are investing it, Trey. I mean, if whether they deduct it or not, you're still the person that's going to be investing it. You're the one that's going to be choosing where you want it to go, as far as that. And it only works if everybody.
But I'm doing pretty good.
It only works. Well, yeah, but you also still have the backup of Social Security being taken out of your check currently. So it doesn't. Nobody says that you can't go and do that on your own. Also,
if they would put out surrender, cease and desist, or whatever that I could sign to say, here, we're going to give you what you've paid in cash, and we're not responsible for you, I'd sign it tomorrow. And just give me
under the
money.
current system. Under the current system,
No,
but you would take the current. You would opt out of the current system because we already know that it's dead. If you actually had options where you could invest it and you could actually see what you were doing, you would probably continue to. Okay, you would probably continue to do your. I mean, if you looked at it and you seen, hey, by the time I turn 50 years old, I'm going to have XYZ amount of money in the bank. Why wouldn't you want to participate in that? I mean, you could still participate. You're currently under the current Social Security system. You're still investing in your Webull account, and so it doesn't hurt to say, hey, this is how I want to do it, because in a sense, you could end up losing all your money. Whereas once you turn a certain age, you would still have that nest egg, if you will, set back where you're not going to be a burden on society, whether the society as a whole or whether it's your family. But in a sense
let's talk about the people currently today under the old system who are getting their measly little checks. And right now, look at the price of groceries. Are they being run over?
They can't afford nothing.
No,
they can't afford nothing.
They're being exactly run over because the old system's broken.
Right. Whereas, and that's why we're trying to talk about a new system.
Oh, yeah. No, I would love to see a new system put in place, but it needs to be control of the people. It doesn't need to be politicians' control. And they always seem to just do whatever they can to want power. And they won't
they can't.
Over everyone.
Right. Our thing is that you can't touch it. It's yours. It's what we've discussed in the past. Where if you were to pass away before you could start collecting it, you have the ability to set up beneficiaries. That you wanted to go to this person or that person. And that it's not just sucked into a system. I mean, yeah, I suppose if you passed away with no beneficiaries at all, then, I don't know where the money would go. I mean, you could always say, hey, I wanted to go to the Humane Society, or I wanted to go to, the, gun owners of America or something, where you could say,
big old spoon walking around. Look at that big old spoon.
where
big spoon right there in the middle.
What?
Oh, well, right. Now he's back. I said, look at that big spoon getting up and shoving all that pudding in everybody's mouth.
I got a 6-year-old and I'm trying to do this, and she's working the microwave and asking questions. And
so, what do you think about the nighttime though? Better, worse?
I think it's 6 of one, half dozen.
The morning time's not bad. I mean, his kid wasn't bothering him as much in the morning.
No, she's so asleep.
No, his future Social Security payer.
Right.
The one who's got to keep him funded.
I think it's better for us in the morning, but I think it's probably better for everybody else at this time, because you get more people can actually at least tune it on, whether they're folding laundry or whatever, and they're not trying to run out the door to go to church or sleeping in or.
So Charlie, just out of curiosity, I mean, is
spoon? Damn it, spoon!
spoon. Is anybody giving you feedback on any of your, on any of our outlets that you're on?
A little bit here and there.
Feedback.
Yeah, I had one. He had a lot of good ideas. Had a couple of people want us to start on the local level and bring in our reform ideas and stuff like that, and then move up the chain. But
well, I mean, I called Blackburn's office Friday because they finally responded about that. You know, we cannot speak about freest and fairest elections. You know, and I don't know.
That's all tongue in cheek.
Yeah, it has to all be put the tongue in your cheek and shut up.
Come on, slap our knees.
When you source Google as the source, and then YouTube shuts you up and says, "Hey, misinformation."
Hey, I'm Biden.
Oh. Don't. You're gonna have a presidential convoy show up to your house. He's gonna be like, "I want a sniff. Give me a sniff."
I'm live right now. Eat your desserts. Come here.
Oh
no. You gotta say hello.
Micro mini.
You got like 10 million people watching you. They got their eyes on you.
Yeah, she needs.
You got
pay that
tens and tens of people
daddy.
looking. Tens and tens of people looking on.
No.
Oh, we're.
Well, I would just prefer to have a better system. You know, I mean, I'm 52, going to be 52 years old. You know, there isn't any system that if it were to change today, that's going to be positive for me as far as that. But you know, I could certainly, I could either agree to participate under the new system, or I could agree to just continue under the old system. And I think even with just 10 or 15 years, if I had the ability to pick and choose what I wanted to invest in and get to the point where I was 60 or even 65 years of age, you know, I would probably be getting a check for just as much as what the system is going to pay me now, as far as that. So, you know, it's more so to make it better for Charlie's children, because you or I don't have any kids as far as that. But, you know, it'll be, you know, I'm just thinking it would just make a better America. It would just, you know, in the end, me and Charlie even spoke about, if Steven. You actually take an 18-year-old child, starts paying into it, he could feasibly retire by the time he's 50 years of age, you know, and start taking money out, you know, individual withdrawals.
There's a lot of youths that have joined that FIRE movement or whatever, that by the time they're 30, they're retired, you know, technically. Because they just invest and constantly invest and pour all their money into investment. And I mean, what was it?
But that's fine also. I mean, if they want to do that instead, I mean, then, you know, they still have whatever it is. If you still have a system in place where somebody blows all their money, you know, and eventually they have to go back to work, and then they could start recontributing in and stuff like that, then that's fine. But you have to have a system that's in place, you know, because honestly, I don't want to take care, you know, I don't want to be taking care of other people's, you know, problems as far as that goes. Yeah, you still have to have it mandatory. Nobody's saying that you can't still go out and invest your own money as far as that goes. I mean, you know, whether you're getting 5% deducted out of your paycheck and being contributed into an individual retirement account, or you're taking your own 10 or 15% or however much money you want to contribute yourself, you know, you still have that option. That option isn't being taken away from you. And hey, if by the time you're 30 years of age, you tripped and fell into the GameStop stock game, and you ended up being a millionaire. Bravo, good for you. But yeah, good for you in that regard. You made that money, but you know what? If you're 30 years old and the first time you could take money out of your IRA account that's payroll deducted is when you're 50, there's a pretty good chance in 20 years you may blow $1 million just by making a bad decision. All you have to do is just look at any, the statistics on lottery winners. How many pro football players, pro basketball players, pro baseball players, end up with those huge signed contracts, still end up being broke by the time they're 70.
I know, but it's not
because they make bad decisions. At some point, you make a bad decision.
Nowhere in the Constitution does it say it's government's responsibility to protect you from your own bad decision, and do it at the monopoly of force at the gun of government. We're going to demand you put in this money. That way, we're going to give you some petulant funds.
You're leaving your phone behind. Sorry.
Yeah, but on your same stance there, Puddin, you're saying it's not the government's responsibility to force us to put in. But if you don't, and you're 60 or 65, and you have no money, you expect the government to take care of you.
No, I don't want the government to take care of me.
Okay, but that's what happens.
If you have no money left, then you're going to be looking for somebody else to take care of you. What if you're disabled? What if you're disabled?
Isn't that what I pay long-term and short-term disability insurance at work for? I do pay that.
Okay, but if you're not employed, you don't have that.
If you're long-term disabled, no, you don't have it. But the person's on the hook for paying for you, aren't they? You contributed to their program.
It don't work like that.
It'll just be a small amount of money in the end. Believe me, they're gonna come to you with a settlement offer, and they're gonna say, "This is what your usable years were left. This was the medium income that you were making, and we want to settle with you for XYZ number of dollars." And trust me, it's not gonna be in your favor.
In the end,
that amount's not gonna be in your favor.
Life. I don't want them.
Well, but that's Trey. You have to think for an entire society as far as that, kind of like our forefathers. Our forefathers, when they developed the Constitution and brought those things up, a lot of those people, weren't necessarily in a position where they needed anything from the government as far as that. They just, needed stability as far as that, So
I don't necessarily want the government in it either. But you got to step back and look and say, there's 30 million people in this country. If you take and divide that in thirds, you got 100 million people that are at the retirement age or older. And if a whole generation of 100 million people didn't put into something to retire, then the other 200 million people's got to pay for 100 million people, however long they live. And so you got to sit and think, I don't want the government in it, but what's the best alternative scenario to make sure that they're taken care of when it comes that time, and that other people's not footing the bill to take care of those people. I don't want anybody taking care of me, and I don't want to have to take care of anybody else. I don't mind helping.
You're all over there.
Hello, Jason. But I mean, out of 100 million people, Puddin, what do you think the percentage of, if they wasn't forced to put money back in some kind of account, how many of them do you think wouldn't, and how many would end up having to be taken care of by the people in the government?
But there was no, here we're going to take care of you until the 1930s. We survived until then. There was none of that.
Well, I understand, but
people didn't really survive, and that's why they ended up coming up with that idea. There still was a great deal of homelessness and stuff like that. There was all kinds of people that were It's not a bad idea. And whether the government says you have to participate or not, I mean, it's only going to benefit you. So I don't understand why it would be a concern if you're the one who gets to choose how it gets invested. The only thing you have to do is participate. And nobody is saying you still can't take your own amount of participation and put it in what you want also. It's I just it does the Constitution give does it outline it as far as that goes? No, but it's what we're under at the moment, and so how we're not getting rid of it. We're not getting rid of it. It's not going to go away. I mean, unless you go ahead and just have that revolution altogether. As far as that goes, you're not going to get rid of the fact that I would much rather, though, have the choice and the ability to pass it on when I pass, as far as that. And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, we can say, hey, I don't want to participate,
But think about how many people have passed on and the government just got to keep that. I mean,
we're talking about how we want to the idea of how to make it better. Not we know what's under the current. We're all living under it.
To Jesus Castro, who just landed on the beaches of Miami. That's his money now.
Right.
But we're trying to change it for I have 5 children. I want them to have a better life and retirement and outcome that I did or my parents did.
She loaded that up with whiskey. Oh cow!
But I think we can all agree too. Also, that just like the political side, y'all lean towards libertarians, and I do too. But I don't think libertarian's the answer either. I don't think the party system is the answer. But the current what we have, the libertarian is the best choice. So with the system we have to come up with what's the best scenario and thing to take care of the people.
I think that's going to be a future talking point, Charlie. I think you maybe need to expound on what other manner of in the future. I'm not talking about right now. We're talking about this right now, but I've never heard you say that before. That's interesting. That should be a future topic. You said you don't like the party system, period. So
no, I don't.
It would be interesting to find out in the future.
To piggyback on Spoon's point there, back in 2009 when I joined the Tea Party, and that's when I set myself aside and went libertarian. Remember the 2010 elections was I was moving from Florida to here. But I still had a Florida vote in 2010, and my mom was pressuring me to vote for, was it before DeSantis? Who was that goofy bald guy, whatever his name was? Rick Scott, yeah. All supportive of Rick Scott. And I said, well, Mom, let's do something different. Let's look at the candidates. Let's go to their website, and let's see what their talking points and platforms were. And she did. She started reading a couple of their talking points, and I was like, that's another socialist garbage. Oh, this is a Green Party person who wants to tax everybody to death and then give you your penance, on the backside. But there was one guy, and he was a Indian guy, and he had an idea on his platform that was absolutely just blew me away. He wanted to create, and again, this is, you want to know who runs you and who owns you? Ask who you cannot question. Again, we've seen presidents years and years over the years question the Federal Reserve and their power. Well, they kind of doesn't go so well when they do. But he wanted to institute a state bank. And by sitting there compounding his idea, I'm not sure. I think we might have spoke about it, Red. I don't know.
We did. I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, but basically what he was saying is he wanted to create a state bank to hold the mortgages in the state. And then your 5%, 4%, 6%, whatever the interest rate was, the current interest rate that's paid in that the banks get to keep, the state gets to keep. And by the state keeping it, they don't need to take your taxes. There would be more than enough money for the state to operate just by being the carrier of your mortgage. And I sat there and I said, that is an absolutely phenomenal idea. Not only would your yearly payments go down, but the money that the banks are going to keep, well, the state keeps it and operates. And hey, if they do a good job with their budget, well, they could lower your interest rate, couldn't they? Same thing with the sales tax. I was like, man, why don't all the states do that? But again, well, you can't question the Federal Reserve. You can't question their interest rate. And how dare you question their subordinate children, all the banks that just print money into existence? I think the states should be allowed to print, especially if it resides within their boundaries. But that's what I'm saying about party acceptance. I haven't noticed any libertarian candidate pushing something like that. But like what Spoon was talking about earlier about getting on the local level and working out, well, that's the idea. But until you have enough people who are going to go and actually do right by the people and forget about big money, we're screwed.
Well, like me and Puddin was talking about, and he's right. We're both right. In these small towns, like here or wherever, the corruption reigns. It seems like it reigns more supreme at the local level, but that's only because you're right there in the middle of it, right? If you were in DC, you would see the same, but it would be on a bigger scale. But like a small town like this, you would have to have 4 or 5 council members.
Well, you need
a mayor.
You need to win mayor and 4 aldermen if there's 7, like Portland.
Yeah. I think there's 7, but but as we're saying, you have to have a total of 5. Your mayor and 4 of your aldermen to take over that city council to change anything. If you throw a mayor in there that's wanting to change, but you have 7 aldermen that do the same old thing,
it's supposed to be Spoon for mayor.
Spoon for mayor.
Do we have an announcement? Do we have an announcement we were going to make tonight?
No.
No announcement.
No. Oh,
No.
Spoon for mayor of Portland, and I'll borrow an address and I'll take aldermen and try to get a couple more people to run for aldermen that are going to say, "Hey, we're going to stop letting the Collinses control everything." Stop letting big money control Portland. It'd be nice. And I've seen, Red, the town I grew up in, Winter Garden, Florida. 22 years ago, that town was an absolute dump. I mean, all the buildings were shuttered downtown. It had no vibrance whatsoever. They put in a park with a water jet fountain and opened up the square, and then they had a trail come through town. And now the $20,000-$30,000 crack houses off the trail back in 22 years ago are now worth $150,000. There's no reason that can't happen in Portland. There's no reason that couldn't happen in any small town in this country.
Well, the real estate market in our town in Portland is already booming. So
it's booming, but you want to see it go for the head for the moon. It's real easy.
But the problem is you have so much of this old school corruption that
the back rubbing.
Yeah, and they waste so much money on. I told you about like the $1 million bathroom at the park. Unless you're Caesar's Palace, you don't need $1 million bathroom anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Charlie, you're just not understanding what's going on in that bathroom.
Man, they bought Kohler. You know what I mean? Come on now. You wouldn't want to use some subpar toilet, would you?
Well, like a lot of people, they make about the strawberries in town, but I think most of those were like donated. So that's okay. You have a strawberry festival once a year. You're known about strawberries. So, at least that's doing a little bit for your tourism. But $5 million renovation of your town hall and $1 million bathroom and $1 million sidewalk. And it wasn't like it was a 5-mile sidewalk. It was like, I don't know, maybe a half-mile sidewalk.
Well, I mean, you're watching Mike Callis walk you around the,
City Hall.
The City Hall and talk about $5 million. We got what a bargain. And I was like, if the Taj Mahal or Luxor or any of these companies paid $5 million and got that building, they'd be upset.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, this looks like a overpriced school, where everything's
and I'm not trying to be overbearing on our mayor or our alderman or our councilman or whatever, but
no, they need to get their butt in line.
But it happens because it happens in every small town. But yeah, they need a big kick in the what, and they need to know. This is the first thing I always ask every time because I keep up with a lot of it. And they'll post it online and everything. Hello, Josh, about this half a cent tax increase. And my first,
you're in our pocket enough already.
my first thing to anytime they ever say about raising taxes, I said, have you seeked every alternate path before you come to the people wanting to raise taxes? And then other people will jump in and go, it's only 0.5%. It's going to pay for the roads. Listen, I don't care if it's 0.25% or 0.1%, I still stand by. Have you seeked all alternate paths before coming to the people to ask to raise taxes again? The first thing they do, raise taxes. I
think I know what Red was talking about, an announcement. I think I was talking about yeah, I got it. But it's not again, when they sit around and it's like, no. Y'all need to get your asses in line. I don't want no more taxes, and they can fund things within their own budget. But if they put it up to an open bid and let the lowest bidder win, as long as the lowest bidder's got some kind of warranty that goes along with it. But that City Hall, important, it's junk. Where'd you go, Spoon? Come on, Spoon.
Look,
he was having to whip a child,
and I'm not totally against a renovation, but to that magnitude, I mean, you could have built you a whole new city hall for $5 million.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we need to look at other city halls in the neighborhood and see how much they cost. Adjust it for inflation and see what we got our money's worth. I don't think we did.
With the same populated town, you can't look at Hendersonville that's 5 times the size and go, well, they spent $7 million.
No, I'm saying Franklin or
Mitchell,
Springfield, maybe, or whatever. Some of the cities that are similar size. Yeah, but this city hall is just so. I was like y'all spent $5 million on that. Boy, the Collins is sure cleaned up. I don't care about these rich people cleaning up or ripping everybody's money.
They didn't print any monuments of a bound bundle of sticks, did they? No, none of those.
No, that's probably at the construction owners' houses. That they don't want that out in public. The Foskis is what it was. Oh, Spoon, why you keep getting it?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You think I'd be the man of the house, but my 6-year-old says different.
Let me ask you, just out of curiosity, we went to speaking of local governments, we went to an obelisk in Kentucky.
Yeah, the Jefferson Davis Monument.
Yeah, did they tear that down?
No, it's still there.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
FAS.
Can't see it.
It's not showing up very good.
No, lower your dim your light. Dim your phone.
So all I see is a bright white light.
Oh, Charlie, are you going to see?
No.
Just got to go a lot further down.
Boy,
you're gonna go see your maker? All you said all you see is a bright light. You're going to see St. Peter at the pearly gates? Yeah,
I'm ready.
There you go.
There it is. That's the symbol. That's the symbol, and then the word is FASCES. Fasces. It's Latin for bound of sticks, bound into a weapon, and then that later become the symbolism of fascist. And there's two of them in the House of Representatives that were put there in 1950. And I said, well, how did that? Was that an accident? I don't think that was an accident. Something tells me that was done on purpose. But
New
that's
World
what I'm
Order.
saying. No, we can't talk about that. We might get pulled off of the New World Order platform. Tube of you. How dare you talk
I
about?
thought the NWO was only on WCW. Huh?
No, maybe. But no, that's what's up there in the.
Was that a wrestling reference?
Yes, it was.
Who are you, Spoon? Andre the Giant?
No.
Who was the sumo wrestler that Undertaker picked up back in the day?
Which one?
I don't know. That big.
You had Yokozuna.
Undertaker was probably more your all's era. I was still WWF. Ricky the Steamboat, the Iron Sheik,
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan was on the edge there.
Hulk Hogan was my favorite.
British Bulldogs,
Macho Man,
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah,
Macho Man.
I remember all of them. I'm old school.
You're old school. You're the youngest here, so don't even.
Doesn't matter.
Young buck.
My dad used to take me down to the Municipal Auditorium down in Nashville. That was the old. I guess it's probably not even there anymore. But I had these. They stood about a foot tall. They were rubber action figures, like wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, and all that. And I would take those to the matches. Like Jerry the King Lawler and the old NWA and Ric Flair.
Oh, I forgot about Rusty Rhodes. Rusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream.
Yeah. That, and he would, wear those razor blades and his bandages and cut his forehead.
Yep.
And bleed like a pig in the ring.
Old school. Old Cactus Jack got his ear tore off with barbed wire, and then Undertaker threw him off the top of the steel cage and then through the steel cage. I remember all that old stuff. What about when Macho Man jumped off the top rope with a ring bell and supposedly almost killed Ricky the Steamboat because he hit him right in the throat?
Right.
I like
and then that one wrestler, I guess he fell from was in the rafters of the building, and he fell all the way down to the ring and he died, and that's when the old wrestling went out the window, and that's when all the staged wrestling definitely came in.
Yep, that was Owen Hart, Bret Hart's brother.
Yeah,
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, I love Bret Hart.
Well, he was one of them that just, I don't know. There was
best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be.
No, I think Undertaker was always my person.
That was good.
Ever since the Undertaker came out, I was like, there's my man right there.
But the best entertaining part of wrestling was, and all the time was, when Hogan went to WCW and started the NWO, and then
it started with the Blackbeard.
And then you had Triple H and Shawn Michaels and stuff that started D-Generation X, and they were battling every Monday night. That was a very entertaining era there.
Who's singing?
Speaking of, Scott Hall passed away the other day. Razor Ramon.
Who?
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. You don't remember Razor Ramon? You don't remember?
No. It was only in the very early to mid '80s that I actually watched any wrestling.
You don't remember the NWO with Hogan and Scott
Never
Hall?
watched the NWO.
Oh my
Never
God.
watched it. No, it was just WWF.
No, my thing with Hogan was just until Bubba the Love Sponge, let him go in there and have sex with his wife. No, that happened.
Hulk Hogan's old lady was nice looking.
Oh.
So was his daughter.
You mean his first
one? So was his daughter. I don't know. The one that was on the reality TV show with him.
Oh.
That's the only reason why I watch those two shows. That's the only reason why I watch that show, is so I could look at his wife and his daughter.
Brooke Hogan's his daughter.
Yeah.
No, there's a Netflix special about it. No, Hogan was fighting the release of that sex tape.
Hey, you leave Terry Bollea alone.
Who?
That's Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea. That's his real name.
Care about Hogan. I don't care about.
What about
America spends so much time and so many people just sit there and it's like, they know. Oh my God, his favorite coffee. If I was to see him in Starbucks, I could order it for him.
I didn't say that.
Well, no, I'm saying there's a segment of people in this country who could, if they was to bump into him in Starbucks, know his preferred coffee drink and could buy it for him.
Like my favorite woman wrestler was Lita, Amy Dumas.
What I'm saying is that same person doesn't realize that their Social Security is helping fund, Fidel Rodriguez's. I landed in Cuba and I'm 69 and I need retirement. No,
he landed in America from Cuba. He didn't land in Cuba. He didn't land in Cuba.
He came from Cuba. What was that? What was the favorite? You was down there with the famous boat lift or whatever. What was that called again?
The Mariel boat lift.
Mariel boat lift.
In 1980?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you was a
young
man.
I was 10.
1980?
Yeah.
That was 70 years ago.
Yeah, Mr. Spoon was running around doing, this, kicking and screaming in the crib.
It was at least 40, maybe 41.
Spoon was like, "Mama, bring me a titty."
What month of 1980?
Remember Mario boat lift?
Yeah.
That I don't remember.
I don't remember that. Spring, fall.
Brad was young, but he was still down there. That was the whole Tony Montana and Scarface. You've seen the movie Scarface, right, Spoon?
Yeah.
No, the boat lift, Mario boat lift, where he just let.
That's what he was.
Cuba.
He's a Mariolito.
Yeah, Scarface. My favorite of all of them is probably Goodfellas.
That was Vegas, wasn't it?
Goodfellas was Northeast. It was. Casino was Vegas. Casino was more. I was more of a casino person.
Godfather was good too, but my favorite was Goodfellas.
I don't know. Scarface was just different. It was just different.
I've seen Scarface and I've seen the Casino. I've never watched Goodfellas.
You never seen Goodfellas?
No.
What?
And I really, honestly, haven't seen The Godfather either. I don't think I've seen all three of them.
I guess you hadn't seen Shawshank Redemption either, have you?
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I love when Tim Robbins gets knowing his political content. You root for the guys. Get him. Oh, God.
I watched some of the old stuff. Like my favorite movie of all time is Young Guns.
It was good, but not my favorite.
But I love Tombstone and Shawshank Redemption. Well, a lot of stuff.
Well, the town of Lincoln is only just up the road. It's only 2.5 hours from here. That's where the shootout in the town. That's where that took place. It's just up the road from me.
Talk about the OK Corral?
No, that's in Tucson. That's down south of Tucson. No, you're talking about Young Guns.
Yeah,
Young Guns. That battle, that town that they had that battle in. Oh, it's only 2.5 hours. It's only 2.5 hours north of me.
Nah, Billy the Kid running around New Mexico a lot too.
Yeah, I put a bullet in Murphy's head at the end.
That's what
that was the cop or the sheriff.
No, Murphy was the rich politician or whatever you want to call him.
Oh yeah,
the general store owner.
The one that had a little China doll. He took ownership of the little Chinese girl.
I think my favorite all-time movie is a toss-up between Godfather and Fight Club.
No,
I love.
The Young Guns was based, and I'm doing my air quotations, on the town of Lincoln and Billy the Kid, as far as that, but not all of that. I mean, there's a little bit of Hollywood in some of that too. Quite a bit of that, actually.
I was saying something earlier, like the movie Back to the Future, which I liked Back to the Future. It floated
seen all
around,
3 of them.
Well, it floated around Hollywood for.
One was the best.
It got turned down. It got turned down 40 times. Nobody wanted to do it. It got turned down 40 times before Universal picked it up and ran it, and then look what it turned into. It's like just like recruiting. These people think they know what they're talking about, but they don't.
Well, Charlie, since you went down to sports reference there, University of Miami lost to Kansas today. So they got as far as the Elite Eight. They did not make it to the Final Four.
I was pulling for them too.
I was too.
I was hoping they knocked Bill Self and Kansas out. I don't really care for them.
How'd them Gators do? How'd them Gators do in March Madness?
I don't.
They wasn't invited.
I'm just waiting for my. They beat the Vols and I get my free meal.
In football.
Who needs Social Security? Who needs Social Security when you got Spooner Security? You know what I mean?
I'm pulling for St. Peter's. I don't know if they played today or not. Hopefully
they lost already.
St. Peter's lost. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This year's tournament, March Madness, has been. There's been years it's been like, oh my God, I can't believe all that happened. But this year has been, it's like been really, really weird.
Right.
I mean, what number ones you got left? Kansas? I think they're the only one, right?
I believe so. Looking for my phone.
I think most of your ones and twos are already gone, and nobody predicted Miami was going to make the Elite Eight. Nobody predicted St. Peter's is going to make the Elite Eight. Nobody predicted Kentucky.
Guys, I forgot about a couple of auctions that I had to monitor, and I lost out on both of them. Damn it! Oops! Doggone it!
What'd you lose?
Harrington and Richardson stock set.
Oh no!
Yeah, dude, man, and they went for rather cheap too. Son of a gun. One sold for $35 and another sold for. Well, if you got a few extras there, I'll take them.
I don't have none. I don't sell much. When I do sell, it's kind of a just a little extra money so I can go buy something else. But I've always been that way though, where it's like I'll invest for myself.
Crap.
Have y'all ever tried the private chat over there? Does it work?
Hey, Puddin, you want to take some spin?
Oh. Get some bitty up there.
You can't show skin. They might kick us off.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh. No. So you lost some auctions. I haven't checked. I got a couple things in one of the local auctions there. You go into the farm auction? Oh, you got to work, don't you, next week?
Charlie?
I do. Yeah, I do. But then after this week, I'm taking a week off. So
you're what? You're taking a week off after this weekend?
Yeah. Going to Georgia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got Georgia on my mind.
Are you going to go see the other daughter?
Yep. We're going to meet up in Hotlanta.
Hotlanta, huh?
Mm. Yeah, the Masters. He has a thing for picking the worst week to go to Savannah for the Masters.
Or Augusta. The week I was going to go see her over there, it's Masters week. And, and they jack like hotel prices of 5 times what they normally are. So we decided to go back west a little bit. And then plan on going to Truist Park and watching the Braves game while I'm down there,
Not bad.
I'd be a Braves fan.
Who are you a fan normally?
Huh?
Who are you a fan of normally?
Oh, the Braves are my team. They've been my team since early 80s.
Oh, okay. You said you were going to be a Braves fan. I said
I bees a Braves fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like a lot of people these days like, oh, you just like the Braves because they win. I'm like, no. When I started watching them for like the first 7 or 8 years, we were last place. The Dale Murphy era. Dale Murphy was my favorite ball player growing up.
I remember that. TBS, America's team.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's what they were called.
Hey, we're the world champions right now. What are you talking about? The Braves.
Are they? Did they win the series?
Last year, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to
Last
understand,
time- Last time
baseball
I picked
is
it
just
was
boring.
Bucks, or no, it was the Marlins. It was the Marlins that was whooping the Yankees' ass. That's the last time I looked at baseball, honestly.
What was that, like 20 years ago?
Yeah,
2003. 2003.
19 years ago?
It was three. It was a long time ago. I remember I was doing tire run down there in Florida and seeing some Yankee over there talking, rubbing it off in her mouth about, oh, we're gonna mount the Florida G Marlins or something. I was like, I hope you do. You spend enough money to.
I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 94, 96, or maybe 99. I don't know. But the Braves met the Yankees in the World Series, and we went to New York, and we won the first two games. It was up 2-0, and everybody was talking about how the Yankees were outmatched, and the Braves were just too good, and they were just going to sweep them. Right? We were going to sweep them. Braves didn't win another game. Yankees run off 4 in a row, and it's like, oh my God. I can't believe we let that happen.
No, I thought it was great.
Felt like Buffalo.
I thought it was great when the lowest paid team in the league, the Marlins, beat the highest paid team in the league. The Yankees. Just showing that it really doesn't matter about money. I think it was shortly after that is when they'd come out with that Moneyball, wasn't it?
The Oakland A's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time, money makes a difference, but sometimes you can sneak one in.
Drafting well.
Well, I guess if the Volunteers is the Volunteers lost streak so they can keep drafting some football players.
Volunteers are college, so they're not drafting anybody.
I know.
They do recruit. They do recruit, though.
I'm picking on Mr. Orange.
Hello,
Mr.
Nick.
Cheeto.
Not Mr. Cheeto. That's Trump. Orange man bad.
You're big.
Look at all that orange. Look at all that orange, man.
Orange headset.
Yeah.
Got my orange hat over here.
Yeah, I need to start texting Orange Hat because he ain't listening. I keep asking him to check things, but he's not listening.
Check what?
Oh, I just picking on you. I'm trying to see how this works on this thing.
Oh, private chat.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Do you notice that work? Does that work?
Oh,
on the laptop.
The private chat? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Eric, you got it?
I don't know. Here, I got it.
It's red. It's Red Spoon. Remember you was giving him shit earlier, Mr. Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, boy.
No comments, of course.
No comments. I don't know how the comments work here.
Well, we got comments. We only had a couple, but they're not showing up on here.
Right. So
I don't know why.
I'm waiting to see if Red's going to chime in on the private chat there. See what it's going.
Oh,
we're still learning.
Hello, Tim.
Oh,
sorry, everyone. But
he's got that. He's got that chicken pecker going on.
That's working. The what?
It's chicken pecker.
Choppy.
One finger at a time.
I was actually using both hands.
It was chopstick.
The problem of it is I had to look at the keyboard and do it at the same time. I don't have it memorized. No.
I think Puddin's a little loopy. What do you think, Red?
Yeah, someone loaded my drink. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I finished mine. I started the next one. But it didn't have anything in it.
Water and tea.
Hey, little bit. You in there? I know.
Oh, I thought she left. I thought she said she was leaving. She said she was leaving. She's being in there. She's being retarded.
Women, you can't trust them. They always say shit.
All right, Chris. Well, let's say Lil Red had to go to work all of a sudden. Hopefully it was work and it wasn't just somebody's name that she had coded on there as work.
Yeah.
She got a couple of different different phone numbers listed under work.
Drove down the street, parked the car behind Walmart, got in the car with her boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she took my truck with her, though.
Oh, my God. Well, she's probably riding her boyfriend around in your truck.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, if it's the one person that I would think about, she is riding him around.
Red's like, don't threaten me with a good time.
Are those happy tissues or sad tissues?
Red's like, please.
Well, one half of them. One half of them was sad tissues, and they sent me a video of what they were doing, and the other half is happy tissues.
Oh gosh.
See, if the people would have stayed on till we got to this part, they might have been entertained.
Right. There she goes.
Yeah, there goes a little short chihuahua.
Red.
What?
Yes.
Tell her, say, hey, Hobbit, me love you. Me love you a long time.
Hobbit.
I don't know about that part.
Hobbit. She's going to unplug the internet, she says.
Oh, my God.
Well, she is sitting right by the box over there. She could kill the power. Oh, gosh.
What's she upset about?
I don't know. I asked her to go get some of her. I was going to let Shaw for gummies. She's doing alcoholic gummies. Y'all tried that?
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm not alcoholic.
Well, I mean, she loaded my drink up. I mean, might as well have some gummy bears with it. She probably did twice the amount of whiskey or bourbon that I do. She probably put twice the bourbon. See, alcoholic. Well, which ones were these? Were these coconut rums? Okay.
Well, if y'all are in agreement, I think we just go ahead and end it early. Because we've been BSing for like the last 5-7 minutes anyways. Were those balls you were putting in your mouth there, Puddin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean some gummy balls. Mm-hmm.
I heard cummy balls.
Cummy balls?
Gummy balls.
I'm going to put some cummy balls in a big spoon. There we go.
And make it turn red.
I don't know what she's done. She's done. There go home now. He said, coming in? No, the light sucks. See the gummy bear?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's like
your camera might be a little bit dirty. Your camera might be a little bit dirty, though.
That was coconut rum, 90 proof.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm. No, we just soaked gummy bears in this. In booze.
48 hours, it will be a double-sized bear.
And it sucks the booze in, so it kind of tastes like a stout gummy. But I mean, she doubled up my whiskey and water, so might as well. Just get drunk.
And be somebody. Get drunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pass out naked. I'm gonna go pass out naked in the woods.
Well, we'll save that for a different program.
Hey.
Yeah, well, no, that's you can't. I can run around naked in my yard and my neighborhood.
We're gonna have a new picture if he passes out naked. You know, right? Because Spoon knows where he lives, and I'm gonna go over there and I'll be taking the picture. So we will have a new.
You're coming to take a picture.
Well,
pick up your smokes when you come over here.
Yes, I'll be coming to take a picture, Puddin.
Is that the vodka?
You know, I'm the big spoon. We're gonna make some
come on,
pudding.
big spoon. I got a big old. Huh? Oh, I got a big old hammock out there, Big Spoon. Come on.
Did she say something about going to the gym when you can't even
Yes,
walk
she
straight?
did. Yes, she did.
What are you doing?
I thought we were going to go to the gym.
Is she going to drive you to get a massage?
I guess. I don't know. Hey, as long as she's giving the massage naked, I'll take it.
Oh, I said she driving you to get a massage, not.
No, I asked her to do me another. I said do about yay much whiskey, and the rest water, and she must have doubled that up because it's. Whew, I'm drunk as hell. But not like you ran out of Fireball. What 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago, Red?
Oh, long time ago.
Angelina,
it's not enough to get me drunk. Here, well, do you want to end the show and then we could chit chat a little after that, or
We'll just call
all
it.
right, yeah. If
All
we're
right.
gonna do that, go ahead and end the show. Peace.
We'll let Spoon drive it, Mr. Big Cheeto. Come on, Big Cheeto.
And if anybody out there wants to join the Ukrainian Foreign Legion, just go to their State Department and you can join. You could be a soldier of fortune.
You can be a soldier of fortune, but you can't bring your working American weapon with you.
The other stuff I'm coming here and I'll put them on.
It's kind of like, what the hell? What are you trying to do? Trying to turn me?
That was kind of like ET phone hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need some Reese's. Let me follow the Reese's trail. Oh shit!
Well, this is definitely a much more exciting
me up
program.
on fire. What the hell? You got a wig on my little do rag or what? The hell?
It's going to be a Michael Jackson episode here.
All right, I think next week. No, not next week. In 2 weeks, we need to do it at night again.
Oh, you like the nice better, Spoon?
But I'm going to have me some wine beforehand.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be really, really entertaining.
If anyone wants to know what the trampoline photo was about, I was having liquor and Spoon was having wine.
Yeah, how many bottles of wine did I have besides that?
Shit, well, I know. Huh?
Then they were handing me other stuff. I think I drank about 3 or 4 big bottles of wine myself, and I'm not a drinker. And then everybody was saying, "Here, take a shot of this, and here, drink this, and here, drink that." Boy, I was hot all over, sweating. I didn't know what
the
to
night
do.
that we discovered Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue. I think.
I don't know. I was just trying to discover how to quit being hot and be able to breathe and be able to walk straight.
No, but
that
No,
trampoline we
go.
got, man,
Uh-huh.
it's strong because at one point, me and Trey was on there, and there was a bunch of other people out there jumping on the trampoline around us.
oh yeah,
So that trampoline is.
yeah. We tested its load rated capacity. That's for sure.
It was over capacity when I got on.
The big Cheeto rolled in.
All right, guys. Thanks for
Thanks
for
for
joining
tuning
in.
in. Sorry, we got a little loopy there at the end.
We'll see you. We'll see you next week for episode
2
6.
weeks. 2 weeks we'll have the drunken night, and then
Yeah.
next week we'll have the morning again.
Yeah, next week, episode 6. 2 weeks, episode 7. We'll do it at night, and we'll all have some adult beverages.
Libations.
All right, we're out.
All right. See you later.